Okay, so the first thing that you want to do whenever you're going to mask a page is to export a copy of the page. Now, I recommend only masking the blank page. That way you can put it on any type of page you want without having to worry about lines or dots or anything of that nature. So I'm going to go to the blank page. Now this is in Zoom Notes. The process is a little bit different for GoodNotes, but you are going to still use the blank page. You're just going to click, in Zoom Notes, you're going to click this icon up here, and then you're going to export it as a high resolution image. Now I've already done this, and then you're going to add it straight to Procreate. So I'm going to hit share here, and when this box comes up, I'm going to add to Procreate. Now if you're doing this from GoodNotes, I will use one of my daughter's notebooks here. Let's use this one from Jennifer in DPC. That's right, unclick the pen. I'm going to use the blank template. In GoodNotes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click that little icon up top, export this page, and you're going to click image, export, and then you can add it straight to Procreate, or you can save to files. I would add straight to Procreate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and open up my Procreate. Go to my gallery. Here's the new one that we just did. And then here is the one from Kristen. This is actually one of her other Harry Potter inspired notebooks. But what I've noticed is Kristen uses the same template. So if you mask a page from one notebook, and I've actually noticed this from most digital planners, if you mask the page from one notebook, it's generally good across all of their notebooks of the same orientation. So what we're going to do to mask this is we're going to come up here and we're going to hit select and make sure it says automatic down here at the bottom, and then you're just going to click on the white of the page. Make sure you're on the right layer. Okay. And generally you'll only have one layer once you import it, so it's not going to be a problem. You just click on the white of the page and it masks the page. Then all you have to do is double check around the corners here. And as you can see, it's missing a little bit of white. So to adjust this, you take your pen and you just kind of scroll till it selects what you want it to. You change the selection threshold. But I'm actually okay with this. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. I'm going to create a new layer. And then you're just going to fill the layer. Now, I actually recommend the first time you do it, you use a different color than white. So I'm going to reselect this, and I'm actually just going to change the color, and you'll see why in just a second by filling the layer. So then I'm going to change the opacity of my mask layer, drop it down a little bit, and I'm going to double check just to kind of make sure that it has all the areas that I want. If I want to change things, I can go in and using a monoline brush, lowest setting, I can just kind of fill in right along the corners, the edges, the rings, if there are any. I can just kind of fill in right along the lines. So I can get it literally right on top if I wanted to. Now, you don't have to do this. I'm not going to do it for every hole, but I just kind of wanted to show you how, if I wanted to get super duper close and not have any white showing, this is how I do it. So then what I would do, once I've done that on every part of the page, that on my mask that I need to, I just come over here and I'm going to copy this layer. Now I'll tell you why that I'm copying the mask, because I'm going to take it into another document. So when you click on your little wrench here, canvas, and then canvas information, right here, it shows you the maximum number of layers. And on this, by importing the image, it only gives us about 19 because the resolution is so high. And I don't know about you, but I generally add more than 19 elements, including my custom layouts. So then I'm going to go into gallery, and I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. Because I have little planner pages set up right here. So as you can see, like my custom daily template here, this is actually set up for a boho berry right now because that's the mask that I use. But if I change my mask to my KDHS mask, it actually, my K Digital Studios mask, it actually lines up perfectly. I can put my layouts above, and when I go to click my canvas information, I'll have 91 available layers as opposed to 19. And that gives me plenty of space to go in and add my background, mask my background, and do everything else that I want to do. So then all I would do, if I didn't have a mask already set up for this one with my backgrounds, I'd go in, and you can do this a couple of different ways. You can come up to the wrench, you can click add and then paste here, or the shortcut, swipe down with 3 fingers and then hit paste, and it pastes it in. So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to unselect this layer. I'm going to make my screen smaller, my canvas. And then I'm actually going to reselect, and I'm going to click down here at the bottom. There's a fit to canvas button. And what it does is that's going to maximize my mask for me so that I have plenty of space to color and decorate and add everything that I want to without it being small. Because then what you do, or at least what I do, is I would go in, I'll go back to that one that we masked from, I'll copy the bottom layer, go back to my planner pages, I'll paste this in, that'll come in, reset, move my canvas back up. I'll drop this layer below my mask, and then I'll hide it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my new layer. I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab my my template real quick, just so I have that. I'm going to copy this canvas so that I get my background and everything, because there are dots on the one side. So then I'm going to paste this in. I have dots hiding right here, and this is just a custom canvas that I made. Now I am going to adjust, or a custom template. I'm going to adjust my template real quick, move it over just a couple pixels there. Now to mask an image onto the background, I'm going to go pull an image out of one of my sticker books here. Open GoodNotes. I'm actually going to flip this because I'm going to put it side by side. I'm going to pull Procreate over to the side here. I'm going to flip my Procreate canvas just so I can see it, minimize this. I'm actually going to use one of these pretty lucid pen templates here. And you can do this with absolutely any picture. I think I really wanted, let's use this red one. I'm going to make sure that I can select my image, copy, paste, and then I'm just going to fit this to canvas too, to be honest. I'm going to double check, make sure it's covered my entire mask. I'm going to move it down a layer. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this. One will just, a couple of them will destroy, and one will make it so that if you're using multiple planners or notebooks, and you have multiple image masks. In fact, I'm going to rename this mask just so we are clear. If we have multiple masks, you can select and you can just mask, and it just puts a copy of the layer that you're copying from over top of it so that it only shows the mask. And then if you're using a lined page or something that you want, you just change the opacity. If you're going to use it as is, you can leave the opacity up. You can change your template by alpha locking it, changing the color. Let's use a light pink, and then you can fill the layer, and then that changes everything that you've written or drawn so that it really, as you can see, it kind of pops. I know there's a bad glare from my window, and I apologize for that. But then you can also add as many layers as you want and play around with everything. I hope that helps.